Western countries have sent an array of weapons to support Ukraine against Russian attacks targeting the capital Kyiv and other cities, and it looks like tanks will be next as a new Russian offensive is expected. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak promised on Saturday to provide Challenger 2 tanks and other artillery systems after speaking to Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. The Czech Republic and Poland have provided Soviet-era T-72 tanks to Ukrainian forces. Poland has also expressed readiness to provide a company of Leopard tanks. Earlier this month, France pledged to supply its AMX-10 RC armored combat vehicles designated as light tanks. Ukrainian officials have been requesting American main battle M1 Abrams tanks, but so far there has been no positive response from the U.S. side. Now, from former director of the Polish military intelligence, Jaroslav Struzik, this makes the U.K. the first Western power to supply Ukrainians with these main modern battle tanks. Is it likely that Russia will see this as an escalation?
Russia can see whatever they want to be an escalation. They are afraid, nevertheless, they are afraid of this new equipment which is coming. Recently, also positive decisions by France, Germany, and US sending armored vehicles, very sophisticated, the most modern ones, and then those tanks.
Iran's state media has reported that a British Iranian national, Alireza Akbari, has been executed. Mr. Akbari, who was a former Deputy Defence Minister for Iran, was detained 3 years ago and charged with spying for the United Kingdom. The British government says the execution was politically motivated and will not go unchallenged.
This morning, Judiciary's official outlet released a statement saying that Alireza Akbari has been executed. 2 days earlier, a state-affiliated newspaper had hinted that he might have been executed or his execution might be imminent. So this news has been around, and his family expected him to be executed. They were actually called to the prison to have the last meeting with Mr. Akbari. The Iranian state media has released videos of alleged confessions by Mr. Akbari, which he has denied. And in a voice message shared with BBC's Persian service, he has said these confessions were obtained under torture and when he was drugged with psychedelic medication by interrogators.
Japan's recent rapid military buildup has taken another stride with an agreement to work on more defense projects with the United States. Japanese and US officials met in Washington, D.C. Both expressed concern around North Korea's ramp up in missile tests and threats, as well as China's militarization of the South China Sea and military activity around Taiwan. They determined US-Japan ties must be strengthened.
The role that the Japan-US alliance must play has never been so enormous. The national security and defense strategies of our two countries that have been prepared most recently are highly consistent at a degree never seen before and will serve as a strong infrastructure for our bilateral cooperation.
According to a French consulting firm, up to 26% of its members are prepared for the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, attacking Taiwan. According to the French newspaper Les Echos, they have conducted a risk assessment and management plan. The newspaper also reported that there have been a wave of preparations by French companies for the CCP's possible invasion of Taiwan. According to the report, procurement consulting firm Agile Buyer and the French Procurement Council jointly launched an annual survey. They found a significant percentage of those in the industry believe that after the Russian attack on Ukraine, companies need to prepare for China causing trouble in the Taiwan Strait. Les Echos quoted Oliver Wojcinstock, director of Agile Buyer, as telling AFP that the consequences of the war in Ukraine are just a small appetizer compared to the consequences of the invasion of Taiwan. Wojcinstock also said that 50% of French companies are now considering restructuring their supply chains, and India is reaping huge benefits from this. The U.S. Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, released an assessment this week that, if a conflict broke out in the Taiwan Strait, it would be difficult for the CCP to win, and even its international standing would be shaken. But on the other hand, the United States, Taiwan, and neighboring countries will face many uncertainties. The report mentioned that Taiwan must prepare a variety of defense weapons before the CCP causes trouble.